السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيده. آمنت بالله العظيم وكفرت بالجبت والطاغوت واستمسكت بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله السميع العليم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني. Let's say that the average salary in New Jersey is $80,000. This comes down to about $6,000 per month or about $300 per day. Now, let's say that our boss had a special opportunity for us, a time where we could increase these earnings beyond our normal capacity. Let's say that he said if we just came to work for 10 days straight, that he would give us $6 million. Is there anybody here that would deny that opportunity? There's definitely one brother who wants to take it. Wouldn't we all raise our hands? And it's okay. Like, we're really talking about money here. It's okay for us to say, yes, absolutely. That's a great opportunity for me and for my family, for my loved ones, for my friends, for the masjid. I can increase in my giving. I can make my life more comfortable, less anxiety, less stress about money. We would all surely take that opportunity without a doubt. This call, this opportunity is exactly what we have right before us. That Allah promises us one day out of 10 days, if we just strive for those 10 days, that we can have an increase 1,000-fold. 1,000-fold of months, not just even days, but months. This is the time coming upon us where Allah frees people from the fire. This is a time of great reward, an increase in taqwa. It's a handout of Allah's favors and His gifts and His bounty. So we have to prepare ourselves. We have to prepare ourselves in order to receive. There's a hadith of our mother Aisha radiallahu anha that the Prophet ﷺ would exert himself even more during the last 10 nights than he did in the previous 20 days of Ramadan. That he would spend time in the masjid making itikaf. And he's teaching us here to direct ourselves to Allah, to direct ourselves that any need we have, any want we have comes from Allah. We have to make this transition, this shift from our normal day to day. We have to increase in our focus to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the opportunity right before us. And I know we hear speech after speech, motivational speech, khatiras, but you have to just really tap inside and say, I just have to do it. I have to stop thinking about it, and I have to do it. Strive towards what your heart is calling you towards. It's that idea of when you're making sujood and all the thoughts and the worries vanish. And in that moment, things become so crystal clear. We need to bring that into our decision making. A few years ago, I decided to make itikaf here in ICCC, and I did it for 2 years. And then last year, I did it in a different masjid, but nobody did it here. And making itikaf, I know it's difficult in the West. We have jobs, we have responsibilities, but we have to reprioritize. And my question is who is going to take that fard kifaya, that communal obligation upon themselves this year? Who wants to take that responsibility on themselves and devote themselves to the masjid this year? Really feel that energy and try to make that decision if you can. If you can just take off a few days, take off a few days. One day, a weekend, take off one day of work. Try to make that opportunity come to light. Because we need people worshiping in our community. It's not good enough that we just have people donating and people giving speeches and people giving khutbahs. We need also people in a greater state of worship from our community. So my call to you is, who in this community is going to make that step and dedicate themselves to the masjid, the same way the Prophet ﷺ did? And it's for you. It's for yourself. This opportunity, it's only going to benefit you. And we have to stop thinking about it and just do it. Aside from that, we need to start to cut back a little bit more. Let's try to strike a different balance in these last 10 days. It's only 10 days. You are not going to become malnourished. You're not going to lose touch with the world. You're not going to miss the news that's going on in the world or at work. Cut back in these 10 days, whether it's food intake, but also other types of sensory intake. Cut back. Emails, doom scrolling, shopping online, purposeless phone conversations. Celebrate Eid when it's time to celebrate Eid. And when it's time to worship in Ramadan, dedicate yourself to worship. Dedicate yourself to drawing near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the time. There will be people that you know that won't be here next Ramadan. So commit yourself as if that could be you, because we really don't know. Commit yourself to striving. Have a strong intention to do more in these last 10 days. Whether it's another 10 adhkar, another 2 rakats, a little bit longer sajda. If you can't make itikaf, then just do a little bit more. You doing that little bit more shows Allah that you are ready to receive the gifts that He really wants to give you. Because that's who Allah is. He's a giver. And the limit on His giving, there's no limit on His giving. So prepare yourself by doing a little bit more, showing Him that you are ready to receive. Strive for Laylatul Qadr. We know that this day is better than 1,000 months. Just 10 days out of the whole 365, do a little bit more. Once you get Laylatul Qadr, your heart will know. Once you get Laylatul Qadr, your heart will know that connection between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So become more mindful. Talk less. Chit-chat less. Spend less time indulging in food. It's just 10 days. We can celebrate an Eid. We can celebrate 3 days. And it's so encouraged for us to celebrate. There's people that their whole way of life is fasting. And they even abstain. This is their way of life. It's maybe out of the balance that we might think of, but their whole way of life is fasting. And even on Eid, they make it a point to eat and to enjoy. Let me just give a little more context on this. There's some people that they're striving for high stations that they won't eat anything that they know that they might enjoy. But even on the day of Eid, they will enjoy. Because this is from the Sunnah. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we can have that day of enjoyment. There is a measure of success amongst young kids that they gave them an opportunity to have a cookie now, or to wait 10 minutes and have 2 cookies. And they measured the success of these kids over a longitudinal study over their lifetime on how successful they were, that the students that waited 10 minutes to take 2 cookies were more successful in their life because they were able to control their impulses. So we have to, right now in this moment, it's literally happening now, say there's only 10 days left. We're going to have the 2 cookies on the Eid. We're going to have the enjoyment on the Eid. We're going to eat more. We're going to have our coffee back. We're going to have our social media back. We're going to have our phone conversations back on the Eid. But now we need to focus a little bit more. Imam Aydurus said that knowledge of the commandments of Allah are like milk. But the reality, the truth of that knowledge is like butter. It will only become witnessed by churning the milk. So you have to put a little effort in to get the butter. So the reality of Allah's commandments, the knowledge of His commandments on us is like the butter. So we have to strive. We have to struggle against ourselves, struggle against our sins. We have to seek forgiveness, and we have to make that strong intention not to return. And when we return, we have to seek forgiveness and make another intention and just keep going. Just keep striving. Keep striving. When we keep doing that, Allah eventually, He'll have some mercy on us. And striving for reward. The gifts that Allah is ready to give all of you are based on being ready. So are we ready to receive Allah's gifts? Are we ready to receive Allah's gifts and His favor? This is the greatest question we have before us in these final 10 nights. Just do something more. Do a little bit more. And inshallah, Allah will give all of you a great reward, a great increase, many openings, and lots of success. I pray everybody has a blessed last 10 nights and everybody tastes the sweetness of Laylatul Qadr. That Allah forgives us for our past transgressions. He forgives our parents and He forgives our grandparents, and He keeps us firm on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. That He has mercy on us and that He makes us people that receive their book in the right hand. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum.